nominee Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton, any way you slice it, has quite a job in front of her because tonight she has to prove she is everything every speaker painted her to be, and the only person who maybe has a harder job tonight than the nominee herself is perhaps her daughter Chelsea, who will introduce her, much like Ivanka Trump introduced her father last week at the Republican National Convention. From Chelsea's channel to Hillary's hill to climb, let's bring in Joe Trippi, a Democratic strategist, along with Ron Christie, a Republican strategist. Good to see you both. John, bring on the daughters. First, Ivanka, who was pretty much utilized to make her father more appealing to women voters, and now tonight Chelsea, who's in some circles been called the secret weapon. What must Chelsea do for the audience, not in the arena, but watching at home?
Well, I think Chelsea's going to do what a lot of the speakers have done thus far, is to connect personal stories to Hillary Clinton. Again, the grandmother piece of this, the daughter that she raised. A lot of people see Hillary Clinton through the lens of her professional life, much as, by the way, people see Donald Trump. That's the only way we know both of them, frankly, is the star power in their official life or their business life or their apprentice life. And so that's why it was so important for Trump's children to give some personal anecdotes and to introduce us personally to the Trump we didn't know. They did the best job of that in Cleveland. I think Chelsea will do an incredible job of that here tonight in Philadelphia.
Ron, let's move to Hillary and the job she has to do tonight. She has a tall order of appealing to the middle class, to the lower class who are perhaps really struggling right now, but also to the business class. That may be the toughest group that she has to convince that she's pro-business after what has been perceived to be a negative view of business by President Obama in the past, although I know Joe would disagree with that. I call it like I see it here. What does she need to do? You as a Republican, I know you don't want to give away state secrets, but you're looking at this just as we are.
I am. Hey, Liz, let me put it to you this way. I think Peter Barnes' guess was exactly right. Lakeisha said she has to be herself. This is the opportunity where she can look in the lens and look at several million people, tens of millions of people around the United States who say Hillary Clinton has a 68% negative trust gap. Hillary can look and say, here's what I've done, here's who I am, here's what I will do. This is why you should trust me. This is why you believe I can take this country in a different direction than we've seen for the last 7.5 years. And most importantly, this is how I can turn the economy around. She's been very anti-business. She's been more into identity politics based on race or gender or ethnicity. She needs to be more about how can I bring America together as a country rather than dividing us on lines of those sort of things of identity politics.
Okay. Joe, look, there's also the politics of safety and how Americans feel right now. They are extremely concerned. So yesterday they rolled out a female Marine captain, and then they had Admiral John Hudson, who came out and definitely struck and fought back against Donald Trump, specifically about what Donald Trump had said about war hero John McCain, a Republican. And let's listen to that, and then you can reply to this.
Sure. Donald, you're not fit to polish John McCain's boots.
There was a huge applause there because Donald Trump had in essence said early on in the campaign that John McCain was only considered a hero because he, quote, got caught, and I don't like people who are captured, because during the Vietnam War he was. What did that moment mean for the future of the election?
I think quite a lot. I mean, one of the problems that we've got, that I think Trump has is his bombast gets him into, does create these situations like he did with McCain, like he's done saying that NATO's obsolete and and that he may or may not defend NATO states, and the Baltic states can't count on us unless they've paid tribute. I mean, it's. There's
to be fair, he said unless they honor their obligations, and that's, there's nothing wrong with that.
I know that it doesn't work that way. We have treaties, and you can't signal that to Russia. I mean, this is the problem with that. There are consequences once you're the nominee. There's things you can say as a businessman in New York. There's things you can even say as one of 17 people who's running for the nomination. But once you become the nominee, one of the two people likely to become president of the United States of America, what you say matters, not just to the American voters, but in the international community and to NATO, to our allies. And I think this is where a lot of this, moving forward securely, Trump has problems. So he talks about how the only person he knows more about Iraq than the generals.
Well,
he said a number of things that are going to come. But so Hillary Clinton, getting back to her speech, Hillary Clinton's got to lay out her vision about where she wants to take the country.
Right.
We can either go back or we can move forward. There's going to be change.
That's the key. That's
We're not going to sit
Ron.
in one place.
Everyone, that delegate on the floor that Peter just interviewed said, well, she should just outline what she's done. No. A lot has changed in the world since she was Secretary of State. Doesn't she have to tackle what needs to be done?
Yes, she has to. And first and foremost, you have to attack and identify the enemy for who they are, and it's Islamic jihadist terrorism. The Democrats, other than, of course, the former Secretary of State Leon Panetta last night, the first 61 speakers, they never mentioned it. So, Liz, if you have a convention to bring Hillary Clinton to the American people and to introduce her to the American people, and yet you can't call the biggest threat that we face here in this country by what it is, a lot of people are going to say, is she really doing this to protect the American people, or is she doing this to protect her own political ambition and quest for power? She's got to lay it out, as Joe said. She's got to lay it out. What's her vision moving forward? Why is her strategy different from President Obama and Vice President Biden's? And how can she find a way to work with the military to have a decisive victory as
Ron
in regards
Christie,
to terrorism?
Joe Trippi, wonderful to have you both. Thank you. We appreciate it.